Hi everyone, this is Tammy at Snowstorm Crafts, and if you're new here, welcome, and if you've been here before, welcome back. So I saw on Katerina Giglio's YouTube channel, I saw that she was making this really cute, chunky burlap mini journal, and I love it. Loved it. So I decided to make one, and I'm going to show you guys how to make one now today. All right, so let's get started here. So what we need is, you're going to need a paintbrush, an awl, a sharp pencil, some gel matte medium, which in my links below, my Amazon links, I'll have the gel matte medium will be down there, and burlap. I got a roll just of burlap that I got off Amazon, and there's other things down there. I mean, I have lots of the different things down there, so come check it out. Some clips, scissors, water, and what I'm using for pages today. Here, I'll go through and show you guys this, but I just did a fun little cluster on the front of the journal. And I can show you guys in the right-hand corner how I make the little flower clusters. I have a video, so I'll put the link in the right hand if you want to check it out. So I got that, and then for the pages I used just some cotton. I used some cotton fabric, or you could take bed sheets or linen or anything like that, and I just ripped them and used those for the pages is what I'm using. So yeah, and I'm going to show you guys how to do some decollaging and collaging on the pages. And what we'll do, oh, also we also need gesso. I forgot about that. So you're going to need some gesso, which I have this in my Amazon links too, down below. So it's just white gesso. Okay. And yeah, so I just got that and some fabrics, just some tea-dyed fabrics throughout and coffee dyed. And also I threw a little page in here that I copied with my deli paper. So I took my deli paper and put it through my printer and stuff. And if you guys would like to see how that process and how I do that, comment down below. I'd love to hear, and then I could do a video for you guys and show you how I do that. And it's just kind of cool, crinkly, and it just looks like an old like newspaper clipping or something. It's kind of fun. It's really fun to do. And some ribbon, and just different laces and stuff like that. That's, you know, but the basics that we need is just the fabric pages, and I will show you guys how I bind that in and how to make the little journal. So let's get started here. So I hope you guys are having a crafty day today and getting out all your craft supplies and making a little chunky journal with me, because they really do turn out cool. Okay, so what I went and did is got some cardboard, and I cut it, so I'm going to do them approximately the same size, and it's 3.5 across and 4.5 tall. So, and then I did a 1-inch spine and then 4.5 tall, so it's the same. And I did that with both of these. I made them the same. And then I took my burlap and gave it about 1 inch around. So you just line it up how you want it. And you don't need too big of a gap in between for the spine, because you don't want it too floppy when you're opening and shutting it. So we're going to go ahead and just use our regular matte gel medium and go ahead and start gluing. So I'm putting glue on the back of here. And you want to put a generous, a generous amount, because this burlap will soak it up. Oh, I forgot. Let's start with the corners. Start with the corners. So we'll get our corners. And this is just a fun process. I mean, just super satisfying. Corners and get the edges. Just get a good tight, but don't bend the cardboard or anything like that, anything crazy. Just kind of get it a good, get the corners really good right here. And this is just going to be a little chunky monkey. Because the little corners will show, but all this other stuff, we're going to put paper over the top to cover it. Some pretty papers. All right. So I am going to put this to the side. I'm going to clamp it. So just take your clamps. And don't worry about all this coming through like that. That's the best part. Excuse me, best part is it dries clear. So that's why I love using the gel matte medium, but like if you use the Fabrifix glue or stuff like that, it'll ooze through and you'll see it. So this stuff is really good. I mean, I love it. And I did the same thing and it was oozing through and I'm like, oh no, but it dried clear and it looks great. So you can see all that is just gonna dry. So that's why it's okay just to take it and go on the sides here with it and just get a good glue down because it's all gonna dry clear. Okay, so just do that. We'll get some clamps here going. Just clamp your corners, clamp your edges, however you want to do it. Do that and let that dry, and I'll show you guys the next step. So the next step here I want to do while we're waiting for our journal cover to dry a little bit is I'm going to show you how I did the pages here. So what I did is took some just cotton fabric and I ripped it into strips of, you know, fairly the same size, doesn't really matter. You can have them, unless you want them exact same sizes, but I don't mind them sticking out a little bit. So I did that and I went ahead and took some water and gesso and did that to all the pages before I did anything, just to stiffen them up and make them a little, you know, so they can do a little stand up by themselves, just to give them a little more structure and texture. So I did that, let them dry. Then I went ahead and went through my scraps and I glued with the gel matte medium. I took some gel matte here, put it down. And there's a couple ways you could do this that I did it is, so you just stick this, and you can stick it however you want. It doesn't have to be right side up. It doesn't have to be, we're just doing this for texture. Like you can see here, you can't really read it. You don't really know what's going on a little bit. But it's mainly just for texture, for background, just to build up. And you could keep doing layers and layers of it. Let it dry, and then just keep, you know, putting down papers and just keep layering it up. Okay, so this one I'm gonna let dry for a second. These have been drying, so this is the one technique here, is you could take a paintbrush, get it wet, and then just wet down the paper here. And this has been sitting for a couple days, so let's see. Might take a second just to soak it through. Just get it wet. And you can see that it's starting to soak through there. And the parts that are soaked through, you just take your finger and you can just rub it like that. And it might take a second just to get down underneath it. But like I said, it doesn't need to be, you know, perfectly ripped off. You can leave some of the backing on there. It's just mainly for texture. Like I even went down to the fabric, which is fine. But you could do that, and you could see here. See the lettering and stuff through it? So that's kind of fun. So you can just keep doing that and just keep peeling back like that. So that's all I did was took gesso, stuck it down like that, let it dry, and then got some water on it and just kind of peeled back on it. So you could do it that way. And I'll let this dry just a little bit more. So I'm just going to work on that right now. So you just kind of just mess around with it. And then you can even grab the corner here and try to rip some off, throw that away. You can peel it back and rip it off. Just however you want to do it. And it will leave paper behind. And that's the part that you want. Just, I mean, however much you want or however little, because it just gives you some texture to mess with. I mean, you could see that turned out pretty cool. So that's kind of fun. So that's just like a mirrored image. So it's like backwards, so the lettering's backwards and stuff like that. So it's just a bunch of scraps. This is a great way to use up your scraps and incorporate them into texturing your fabrics for your pages. Okay. If you don't want to get it on your hands or gloves, or if you don't have gloves on, just take a rag. You go like that. And just whatever comes up, comes up. So that's the cool part. And it's just fun to play with. There we go. So I'm gonna let that dry just a second. So you just let it dry just a little bit. It doesn't have to be like completely dry. And you can always take it and lift it up and look at it to see. But this is the decollaging, is you just take it and glue it down and then rip it back and see what you come up with. I mean, and what you get is what you get, and it's pretty cool. And it's just mainly for texture. And you'll get some wording and stuff on it, which is great. Like that. So you got the words on it. So there you go. So yeah. So you just play around with it. See how long you want to let it dry, or there. And then you even have the words here on this part if you wanted to take it and glue that part down. You know. You take it and just take your gel matte medium and pop that down on there, and there you go. So just however you want to do it. You just play around with it, and then this just builds up your layers on your paper or on your fabric. Oh, there we go. That are all of them. I went ahead and took my water and gesso mixture here, and I got it pretty runny. And then you just take it, and this just helps build up the page. And it'll, once it dries, you'll see more wording coming through. It just depends on how much you want to put on. And it stiffens your pages up, which is nice. It makes them, you know, more stiff, like this one. This is super stiff. So it's kind of cool. And you can even take it and sand it with a sanding block. And I just got this at the, like a hardware store or anything like that. And you can take it and just, you know, sand it if you don't want the rough feel on it, and just do a light sanding like that. And then you can just keep layering it up too. Like do that, and then do the next layer, put some more down, you know, and just keep going. So I'm gonna let this dry and we'll do the next step. Okay, just to show you guys here, I got some lace that I coffee dyed or tea dyed, one or the other. And so I got like a whole scrap here that I use. Just coffee dyed, tea dyed, different kinds of ropes and different things like that. And if you guys want to see how I do my tea dye bundles, I will put that video up in the right hand corner, and it's really cool. They're really fun to do. So I got this, and I want it on a page. I took one of my pages here and just folded it like it's going to go into the journal. it here. And I made it a little longer, and I'm going to fold this down. So just make sure you open it. After you fold it, I just wanted the fold line to see where I'm going here. And then you can kind of fold it down. I want it hanging out the bottom a little. And that's the edge. So I want it over like this because I'm going to make a little flap. I want to make sure it can go like that. Okay. And the reason I'm doing this before I put it into the journal is because I'm going to go to the sewing machine and sew it. And that just makes it easier on me than doing it when it's already bound in. Okay, so I go like this. And then you can take some more fun fabric that you have. I think this is from the bundle, the tea-dye bundles. And I'm just going to stick it like that. Or you can even go behind it, but I think I'm going to go in front of it. So however you want to layer it up. And I'll let that stick out. Okay. And then I'm going to take it over to my machine and just do a fun stitch across the top here. And then we'll see how it turns out. All right, I think that turned out really cool. I just did a fun fancy stitch on top and left the danglies here. And you got a nice little flip. So there we go. And I like that it sticks out like that, so it'll stick out the journal. So this is a good time just to decorate your pages and get them how you want them. If you're gonna do some machine sewing, but if you're doing like, you know, of course, hand stitch, you know, if you're doing some hand stitching, then that's the fun part, is just to, you can see the side, is to just do them into your journal, which is fun. So these are fun little clusters that I made. And if you want to know how I made these, let me know, and I'll show you guys. I'll do a video for you. I had fun doing those and like that and stuff. Yeah, so let me know, and I will do that for you. But the cool thing is you can just snip it right here and pull it out. Well, you know, if you want to use that, of course, or snip it back here. I just did one little sew through and take it out, and you got yourself a little cluster you can use wherever you want. So this is kind of a cool little journal to do that in. And also the pockets, like this is just some lace and that I found. So if I want to just maybe, you know, if I'm going somewhere or want to make sure this is all packed down, ready to use, I could just take it and use my little pockets here. I just put some fun things in there that I want to stitch and take it with me, you know, because I got this fun little pocket back here. So, like say you want, you know, to add a little more burlap in here, so just pop that down, and maybe some more lace. So just keep it in your little pockets, and then you got yourself a little to-go journal here that, you know, and then just put your needles. Make sure to just get your needles and stuff in here. You can even take it, and this is kind of a fun idea, is you can take some felt, and we can glue some felt here at the top, and you could just stick your needles in it. Yeah, actually, let me go grab some felt real quick. All right, so I have a whole drawer of just felt. I thought this was cute. I had it in there. It's all fun and games until the bobbin runs out. I thought that was so cute. My mom made this and sent it to me. So it's a fun little push pin, little pillow. That's pretty funny. Okay, so I had that in here. That's funny. Let's see, I have different colors. I saw this color, where'd it go? I think I like this one. Let's see, I'm making a mess here. What do you think that color? I think that would be a good color. So I'll go ahead and cut that real quick. All right, so I just used my Fabrifix glue just to glue it down. And make sure that's gonna stay. Let's get our little needle here. And look at this. How cool is that? So there you go. This could be your little traveling, little slow stitch journal. So you can have your needles right here, and you know, take your threads. You can put your threads in your pockets. You know, like this could be where you put all your threads, or you know, or you can even already thread your needles and have them ready, and just keep it all in here. You know, you can even just put your threads in here, wherever you want them, like this. Just have your threads, and then just shut it and tie it, and everything will stay. So there you go. You got your little portable slow stitch journal. Oh my goodness, I love it. I love coming up with ideas when when I'm with you guys. I always come up with the best ideas. Okay, so there we go. All right, so I wanted to show you guys. I went ahead and sewed around my tea bag here, and it's got a little pocket. So it's a fun little pocket. And I take it and fold this part over just a little bit. That. And let's fold this. And that's gonna go right here. I'm gonna glue it, and then we'll have a fun little pocket flip. Got a little flip out. So there we go. All right, I also took 2 tea bags, just opened them up and washi taped them. And I just got a bunch of washi here. I can put that in my links below if you guys want to come check them out, my Amazon links. And then just take what you got here. Because we all need washi, don't we? And Scotch Crate glue stick. I think that might be down below. If not, let me know. If anything you guys are interested in, if it's not down there, just let me know. Okay, so I'm just measuring that. And we want to do a little bit of stick, because we all know how good washi tape sticks. So add a little glue stick to it. And there you go. And that's another little page you can add to your journal. And these are always fun. You can do really cool stitching on them too. So it could just go inside for a signature here. And there you go. And we got that. So that's another thing you can do. Okay, so our page is dry here. We got that one dry. So that one's good. And now I took a manila folder and I made sure to cut it a little less, like a little thinner than the actual spine, because this is what we're going to sew the signatures to. So you want to make sure you got just like 1/8 of an inch around it. So you want to make sure this fits in here like that, because it'll be glued down eventually. You want to make sure your journal can still shut, okay? Because you don't want this too big. You want it a little bit thinner. So just mess with it and make sure you got it just the way you want it. And now what I'm going to do is take one of my pages here and line it up. Oh, and then I measured just in the middle here. I just did a line, a pencil line, roughly in the middle there. Because we're going to sew in the middle first. So I'm just lining that up. And I'm going to do 4 dots here. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay? And I'm just eyeballing it. You can measure it perfectly if you want. And this is just a little foam piece from my my watch face here that comes with it, underneath it. And I thought this would be great to just poke through. So just anything like that, and you could just get it poked through without bending your page or poking your finger or anything like that. So anything like this is just great to keep. And your recycling. Let's see, we'll do in between right here. There we go. That should still line up. So what this is, I'll show you, and I'll put it down in my links, my Amazon links, and it is waxed poly thread, and it's very strong and easy, and you can split into thinner strands for sewing and beading and stuff like that, and you can split into five strands, so that's kind of cool. And it's just a wax. I've used it before with my tie-dye and stuff like that. So I just went ahead and measured about a little over 2 links because I want to tie a bead on the bottom like I did here, just some fun beads. So I made sure to go a little bit longer with it. And I got 3 of them because we're gonna have 3 signatures. I don't know if I said that, but I'm doing 3 signatures, and it's just like 2 pages each. I'll show you them when we get there. But let's see. So we got this one. Let's see. So I'll show you. So you just want to make sure you have the pages the way you want. I mean, it doesn't really matter if they're upside down, right side up, or, you know, like, that's perfect. And then I went ahead and had that printed off. I printed that onto some deli paper, and I will put the deli paper, I got like 500 sheets of them, and I'll put the Amazon link down below, but you can get like 250 sheets, and you don't have to get the craft, like the brown, you can get white too. So I'll make sure to put that down so you guys come check them out. They're fun. I have tons of projects doing with deli paper. And make sure you have like a sharp pencil. And get it into the fold as good as you can, and take your sharp pencil here, and you're gonna go through the hole that you just made, and then just go like that. So you wanna make sure you go through the hole, and then you can see where you make a mark. And then you know where the fold is. You can see your fold. Okay. Make sure to make a crease there. And then when you do that, even if you're a little off, all you gotta do is just move it into the middle here. But you can see where your little mark is. So there we go. And I'm gonna do the same thing. Just pop it through. Make sure you guys can see here. All right, and if you want, you can go ahead and clamp it. Probably should have done that first. Whoops, whoa. Clamp it, then you know it's not going anywhere. I gotta use a smaller one. There we go. So just get it to, you know it's not gonna move on you. Okay. And I just take a big needle here and pop my thread through it, and it's flat. That's what I love about this stuff. It's already flat and ready to go. And we're just gonna go through this top hole. Okay. And this wax, it's so nice, this wax thread, because you know it's not gonna break on you or anything like that. So I'm just gonna tie a double knot here. Extra security. Okay, you got a double knot so you know it's not coming through, and then you take your little your little backing here, and you just thread it through just like that. Okay, so I'm gonna go like that, and then just weave your way down and go through your hole. This is the tedious part, but you just got to make sure you just get it through everything. So you pop it through. That. And then you go through this way. There we go. You can see. And then you're going to pop pop it right back through. So there you go. So you went ahead and just sewed that to the back of it, just like that. And then I'm going to tie another double knot at the bottom. Right, so I got them all sewn in. So we got our little invisible spine going here. And what you're gonna wanna do is make sure it's right side up. That's always good. So that's the way it's gonna close. We want it right side up, which I check by my pocket here. Okay, and this, so it's all this way. And what I'm going to do is you can either use your gel matte medium, or I like using the Fabrifix because it doesn't ooze through and it glues really well. So I'm going to just do that on here, and we're just going to glue it right to the spine. So just give it a good glue here. Get it all on there. Nice glue down. Okay, and you definitely want to give it a good amount here, because that is going to be the main spine right here for opening and closing, and making sure everything's on there. Okay, so line it up. Middle-ish, and go ahead and press down. Just make sure you got it where you want it. Okay, and then just go ahead and clamp it and let it dry. So while that's drying, I just clamped it here for the spine. We can work on the front cover. Okay, so I'm thinking I like this. I want to put down one of the papers here. One of the fabrics, like pages that I had extra. And I think that would be fun. So maybe we'll put that down. Some tea-dyed little netting here with some gold strip, which I think is cute. Just whatever you got, whatever you're loving right now. Use it up. Okay, so I like that. And then a tea-dyed piece of linen here. I think it's linen. I'll add that underneath. And then my cluster on top. And since we're in a little gold theme here, I got this little cute little, it had a pin on the end of it, like a, you know, like a push pin, so you could put it like in your lapel, like, you know, and like clip it like these, like that. Or you could just clip it into your shirt or blouse or, you know, whatever. And it had that on the end of it, and I just clipped it off with my little wire cutters here, pliers, whatever you want to call them. So I did that on this one too, and then I just glue it down. So I think it works great. So I like that. I think that looks good. And we'll put this one here. We'll have a little matching set. All right, and then when the spine dries enough, I want to put this on the, this was from a big long linen skirt that I tea-dyed. And I'm gonna glue that to the spine, just like I did this one, because I think it looks great. I think it's so much fun. And I'll have a little set, and I'll put them up on my shelf and have fun little things to slow stitch. So there we go. So I'm gonna go ahead and get all this glued down, and we'll go from there. All right, so I went ahead and got the cover done here. I think it turned out really cool. So I forgot to tell you guys, if you want a little bookmark thing in here, like that, you have to add that in. I totally forgot, but I think it's not dry yet. So I wonder if I can just kind of pop it in here real quick. So maybe lift it up. It might be too dry. But if you can get back in between here and go like this, there we go. And just pop that back behind the little spine thing that you guys made. There we go. And also, I know, for some reason, this needs to go back behind it too. I know I got too excited about putting the signatures in, so I'm gonna do that real quick though with you guys. So just pop it off, and then hopefully you guys haven't gotten this far yet. So just split it in half here, take the middle, and then just pop it right down like that. There, and it should be fine. And then we could glue the rest. So there we go. So if you catch that before, just make sure to get everything down in there before you put your spine down. So there we go. And also when you put glue on it, make sure you don't do so much that it oozes out. And then if it does, just make sure to catch it and, you know, just rub it off your papers and stuff. So just make sure to watch for that if you put too much glue. So it's just a, you know, learning curve too. I mean, I put too much glue. Whoops. Whoopsie. I mean, it happens. So you just check it and make sure it's just not all oozing out the sides and stuck all the way down. So that's all you got to do is just make sure to just lay down your ribbon that you want for your closure first before you put your spine down and your little bookmark part here. But I caught it in time because I got distracted. I know doing things on camera is way different than, you know, real life. So you get distracted, you know, and I got excited to show you guys how to get the signatures in. And just go through and just check glue bits, you know, that's oozing and stuff like that. And just kind of check it. So it's a little tip here. And now we can go ahead and put down our pretty papers. So I wouldn't suggest to do really thick paper or thick anything because you want it to kind of mold to it and form. And I'm going to use the matte gel matte on this one, on this part, because you can it dries clear for one, and you could take it and do the top of it and get it all just how you want it. I know, I'm glad I caught that before it dried. So yes, just make sure to put down your whatever your closure you want to do and whatever you know, little bookmark if you want to do that in the middle. Just pop that down first. Then put your signatures in. So what does that? Do as I say, not as I do here. But it all works out. Nothing to really stress about. And if we didn't get this all the way across the bottom, you know, underneath here, you could just, you know, have it cut and just glue it underneath the paper to here instead of going through the middle. So if you didn't catch it in time, you could just do that. And then I'm just getting this over as far as I can. Right here. You can go over the top. And then you just do a good glue down here. And this, I guess, forms a plastic kind of over the top, so it gives it like a good seal. So if you're doing stuff like this, it's great to have the gel mat that you can just go right over the top of it. And I'll show you again in the other journal, but it dries, I mean, really cool. It gives it a nice just really neat finish. And it forms like right to it, like whatever you're working with here. So there we go. So just pop it down, get the edges really good, and then just like that. And then do the same to the other side. And I'll meet up with you. Okay, so the last thing I want to show you guys here is how I do the beads. They're just little wooden beads, and actually I can put the link down below if you guys want to get some. They're really cool. You get a bunch of different varieties of them, and I'll put the link down below so you guys can check it out. But I just slide it through here, go through again like that, so you have a line through it like that. And just make sure you have them long enough so you can stand it up like that if you want to. Okay. So I do that, and then I just tie a knot on the bottom. Take my Fabrifix glue, pop a little bit of glue in the hole, and then bring the bead down to the knot. And there you go. And then you just let it dry. And it's not going nowhere. So there we go. We got our cute little chunky burlap junk journal here. I think it turned out great. It's super fun. So let's do a quick flip through of it. And I'm so glad that we got that I remembered to show you guys how to do that, how to get the ribbon on it and the little bookmark. But you can see it's starting to dry. I did it with my heat gun a little bit to dry it. And you can see how it forms to it. It's really cool. So we got that. And then fun little fabric pages to play with. And we'll flip out. And then this is your little bookmark right here. And then there's that, and then that. And you guys take it, tie it. There we go. We got ourselves a little set here. I mean, how fun is that? We got ourselves a little fun little set. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it informational. And if you could please subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, and you guys will see my next video when I post it. Like, comment, share, and let's grow together. And keep on crafting.